A very good morning to everyone. So today I'll be doing the analysis of the Hindu dated 11th of November. So I've shared the screen with you. So this is the first news that is coming on your way that the governors cannot sit on bills passed by House as said by Supreme Court. So what has Supreme Court said? Now, the real power rests with elected representatives of people, that means the ministers, in a parliamentary democracy. The bench said as it settled the law in a writ petition that was filed by Punjab government against the governor. Now, the Supreme Court on Friday laid down that a governor cannot sit on key bills that is passed by a state legislator after casting doubts on the validity of the assembly sessions in which the proposed laws are passed with overwhelming majority by the elected representatives of the people. Firstly, the article is talking about what? The article is saying that any bill that has been passed by overwhelming overwhelming majority of the legislature by elected representative or the legislature. So if the bill that has got the overwhelming majority of the elected representatives, so that bill should not be, just held by the governor for long, because ultimately it's the elected representative of people in parliamentary democracy that have the real power vested in their hands. So the apex court settled the law in a writ petition that was filed by the Punjab government. And what did the apex court said? Warning the governor that you are playing with fire, the court directed him to take a decision on the long pending bills that presented to him for assent. So the issue is coming here. Yesterday also I talked about this, that the governor of certain states are doing what? Now they are, withholding their assent. They are not giving any assent to the bill that has been sent to them. So, real power rests with the elected representative of the people in a parliamentary form of democracy. The governor, as an appointee of the president, is a titular head of the state. The governor acts on the aid and advice of the council of ministers, save in areas where the constitution give him discretion. Now, the power to take decisions affecting the governance of the state or the nation is essentially entrusted to the elected arm of the state. What else? Now, governor is intended to be a constitutional statement guiding the government on matter of constitutional concern. Now, what is the breach of practice? So, it says that the bills on the ground that the speaker had adjourned the budget sessions of the House Senate in March without proroguing it. He refused to consider the proposed laws present to him on the ground that the special assembly sitting in which the bills were passed in June were patently illegal and in breach of the practice and procedure under the Punjab Vidhan Sabha rules. So now what is the concern that is being highlighted? The reason why the accent is withheld, it is said that the legislative assembly or the Vidhan Sabha rules, the procedures or the practice was not duly followed. Rather, it was doing what? it was being breached. So the reason why this bill is being withheld, the reason is given this, that the practice and the procedure that was followed was clearly the breach of privilege, or you can say the breach in the parliament. So the governor, responding through his secretary, said the house had conveyed again in October to pass three money bills. Two of these money bills were not were recommended for introduction in the house after the state government moved to the Supreme Court. One is still pending actions with the governor, who claimed that the October sitting convened by the speaker was also illegal. So he contended that it was not open for the speaker to drag the budget session into the monsoon session. The governor said the speaker had no authority to adjourn the house Sinai in perpetuation without proroguing it. So governor is giving his side of story, and he's saying what, that the speaker has no authority regarding what, to adjourn the house Sinai in perpetuation without proroguing it. So adjourning Sinai is an interruption of one and the same session, while prorogation is a termination of the session. That means when a house undergoes prorogation, what is happening is that session of the house is terminated. The speaker adjourns the house, the governor prorogues it. That means the governor is doing what? Termination of the session, while the speaker has the power to adjourn the house. Okay. The speaker, who has been recognized to be the guardian of the privilege of the house and constitutionally recognized authority who represents the house, was acting well within his jurisdiction in adjourning the house synod. Now, the bench has observed what? That a house was governed by the decisions of the speaker on adjournment. It would not be constitutionally valid for the governor to question how the speaker exercised his jurisdiction over the conduct of the house. So now the Supreme Court judge bench is questioning the governor and saying that you can't question how the speaker exercised his jurisdiction over the conduct of the house. Who? The governor, because it would not be constitutionally valid. So if you see the benches of the decision, that it is constitutionally, or it is yeah, it is not constitutionally, it is not constitutionally valid to do what, to actually question how the speaker exercises jurisdiction over the conduct of house. So how the speaker exercise jurisdiction over conduct of house. So that means it says that it is the speaker's file, or you can say it is the speaker's hold, that how he is going to exercise the jurisdiction over the conduct of the house. Fine. Okay. What else? Now, the court said that the governor could either give assent to the bill, withhold assent, or send them with a message to reconsider them or refer them to the president. So, the court has again said what? That the governor has three things or three powers. First is either give the assent or give his assent to the bill. Second, it is saying that either you withhold the assent, and thirdly, they are saying, or either you send them back for, send them back with a message. Messages regarding what, that what amendments could be done, or whatever the governor feels that this, there's something need to be checked on. So that message could be there, and send them back with a message to reconsider them, and at the end refer them to the president. So finally you have these choices, with the governor, and after that you have what? You refer that bill to the president. Fine. Okay, so let's move on to the next article. Now, revamping the criminal justice system to fit the bill. What is or what does that mean? Now, the governor has introduced three bills to replace the core laws. That is your yeah. The government has introduced three bills to replace the core laws. That is the IPC, the CRPC, and the IEA. So three bills. In past also I have done the editorial for the same. Again, I'm doing it for the same reason. Now the government has passed or introduced three bills regarding what? Amendment to core laws. What are those core laws? The core laws are regarding your IPC, regarding CRPC, Criminal Procedure Code, and third is your IEA, that is your Indian Evidence Act, and this is Indian Penal Code. Now, core, yeah, to replace the core law, that is the IPC 1860, CRPC 1973, IEA, that is 1872, which forms the basis of the criminal justice system. These bills are being examined by the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Home Affairs. Now, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita bill will replace the IPC. So, IPC is going to be replaced by Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. This will replace IPC. Then you have Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita bill. So that will replace your CRPC. So Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita bill. This is going to replace your CRPC. Fine. Um, and the Bharatiya Sakshya bill will replace the IEA. Yeah, Bharatiya Sakshya bill. Bharatiya Sakshya Bill will be replacing your Indian Evidence Act. CRPC will be replaced by Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita Bill. IPC will be replaced by Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita Bill. Now, what else? Now, as these bills replace the entire acts and are not merely amendment bills to fix some gaps, they provide an opportunity for an overhaul of the laws underlining the criminal justice system. So that means it would be what it is, kind of amending the criminal justice system. It's a overhaul. Now, this raises the following question: do they update the law to reflect the concepts of modern jurisprudence? How do these bills relate to various special laws? Do they help to unclog the criminal justice system? Are various definitions and provisions drafted well without ambiguity? So that means what they are talking about is more clarity with respect to your criminal justice system. Now, modernizing the law. Now, there are seven issues related to modernizing the jurisprudence. First, whether these bills exclude civil law. Usually, criminal law deals with issues that are seen as an offense against the broader society or state, while civil law deals with the loss of the person. Now, however, CRPC includes provisions for maintenance of wife and children after divorce. It also allows compounding of some offense by the affected person, which means the accused person is acquitted. For example, a person who is cheated may decide to acquit the accused person. The question is whether such matters should be dealt with under the civil code. The new bills retain these provisions or not. So, second, now this was the first one, whether these bills create a reformative system rather than a punitive system. So, a reformative system. Now, the first question comes whether it is or it will create a reformative system. That means the bills that have been there replacing the core laws. And what are those bills? Your Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita Bill, your Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Samhita Bill, then you have Bharatiya Sakshya Bill. So whether these bills are going to bring reformative system or they are going to bring in a punitive system. Punitive system means that they are going to what? Give punishments, and reformative system is where the reformation is going to happen in the system. So if reformation is considered, you can say that they are mainly targeting that how they are going to work on the system, and how the system is ultimately going to bring changes in the society. Now, there is a move towards this by making community service as a form of punishment. However, several minor offenses, such as keeping an unauthorized lottery office, which carries a maximum penalty of 6 months imprisonment, are not compoundable, which means they will go through the process of trial and conviction. That means the author is saying that there are some offenses, you can refer them as minor offenses. Now, these minor offenses under the modern jurisprudence is going to be considered for what? Trial, or they'll undergo the process of trial and conviction. Now, third, whether maintenance of public order and the process of criminal prosecution should be in the same law. The CRPC has provisions charting out the process of arrest and trial, as well as items such as Section 144 that empowers a district magistrate to impose various restrictions. The new will retain this structure. So the new bill is going to retain this structure. Which structure? Whether the maintenance of public order and the process of criminal prosecution should be in the same law. The CRPC has a provision of process of arrest and trial. Section 144 empowers the district magistrate to impose various restrictions. Now, the fourth one says whether various directions to the Supreme Court of India have been codified in these proposed laws. Now, the bill codified in these proposed laws, just a minute. Okay. The bill codifies the procedure for mercy petitions. However, there is no codification of various directions that are related to arrest and bail. So, the fourth, whether various directions of the Supreme Court of India have been codified in these proposed laws, the bill codifies the procedure for mercy petitions. However, there is no codification for various directions that are related to arrest and bails. Now, fifth, whether the bill tries to ensure consistency of implementation. Typically, penalties for offense specify a range, with the judge expected to specify the sentence within the range based on circumstances of each case. Now, what is the fifth point saying? That the bill is trying to ensure what? Consistency of implementation. So, the implementation should be, or the implementation of the bill, that means once they become the act, should be consistent. Now, typically, penalties for offense specify a range with the judge expected to specify the sentence within the range based on circumstances of each case. That means if the person is found guilty for anything, so what is going to happen? That the judge is going to talk about the penalty, and when the judge is going to talk about the penalty, whatever punishment that is being given to that person regarding any offense, that should be specified, and this specification should be based on the circumstances of each case. So there should be specification regarding circumstances of each case, and this is regarding what, when the judge is assigning the penalty. Fine. Okay. However, for some offense, the range may be very wide. For example, the punishment is up to 10 years of imprisonment if a person cohabitates with a woman whom he falsely convinces that he is married to her. Now, that is, the judge may pronounce a sentence anywhere between 1 day and 10 years. The new bill retains such wide ranges. That means the new bill is offering or is also providing judgment regarding what? Regarding your cases of cohabitation. This is just an example, but it is regarding civil cases also. So we have two kind of cases. One is your civil cases, one is your criminal cases. So civil cases are, considered under your CRPC cases. Now, sixth, whether the age provisions have been updated for modern norms, the IPC specifies that a child below the age of 7 years cannot be accused of an offense. It provides such exemptions until 12 years of age. That means a child that is below the age of 7 years shall not be convicted of any offense, and the exemptions will take place till 12 years of age. So, if the child is found not to have attained the ability to understand the nature and consequence of his conduct, the question is whether these ages threshold should be raised or not. Now, seventh, whether gender related offense have been updated. The bill is in line with the Supreme Court judgment which struck down the offense of adultery. Section 377 of IPC, which was read down by the court to decriminalize the same sex intercourse between consenting adults, has been dropped. Now, consequent, that means this Section 377, which has read down by the court to decriminalize the same sex intercourse between consenting adults. Now, this has been dropped down. Now, consequently, the parts retained by that judgment, including rape of a male adult and bestiality, have also been removed. The Justice Verma Committee in 2013 had recommended making marital rape an offense. This has not been done. So, again, one thing, if the question comes whether the marital rape has been considered into the offense, so no, marital rape, sorry, was referred by Justice Verma Committee that this should be treated as an offense according to this committee. But this has been dropped. Fine. Overlap with special laws. Now, the IPC was enacted in 1860 as the principal law specifying offense and penalties. Since then, several laws have been enacted to deal with the specific offenses. That means, offenses like, for example, just now I have read into the article, it said about holding of lottery business, then anyone who is cheating in the name of cohabitation, in the name of marriage, and is cohabitating with the woman, then that is also considered as an offense. So there are multiple range of offenses that have been considered. How, and based on the specific offense, there are penalties that have been told in uh, the IPC and CRPC. Now, however, the IPC and the bill to replace it continue to specify some of these offense and applicable penalties. Now, this leads to duplication as well as inconsistency across these laws. So now the author is saying that even what you are going to do is, if you are going to retain the penalties that have been initially assigned, so what you are doing is you are actually copying it, or you are duplicating it. So when you are duplicating it, what is happening is you are not bringing any change. It is rather what? Copy paste. Fine. Now, in some cases, the penalties are different. Also, a person may face prosecution under different laws for for the same action. So, it is saying that in certain cases it is duplicating, while in certain other cases, what is happening, there are penalties, new penalties for certain offenses, which was different in earlier law code, or you can say the Indian Penal Code, or the CRPC. So we have brought changes in certain offenses or certain kind of penalties. Now, in some cases, this has been addressed. For example, the Legal Metrology Act 2009 states the provisions of the IPC related to weight and measures will not apply. The bill removes this provision. Now, however, the bill, like IPC, overlaps with several other acts, such as those related to food adulteration. So now there are overlapping of what? Suppose there is law regarding IPC, and then you have this Bharatiya Nagarik Samhita Bill. So there are laws which are overlapping, and they are overlapping in case of food adulteration. Then you have sale of adulterated drugs. Food adulteration, sale of adulterated drug. Then what else? Then you have bonded labor and rash driving. So in case of bonded labor, the laws and the penalties are same. Then regarding rash driving also, the things are same. Abortion continues to be an offense, though it is permitted under certain conditions until the MPP Act. So abortion is considered as an offense, but is allowed under MPP Act, that is Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act. The bill replacing CRPC retains the provisions requiring maintenance of parent through a special act was passed in 2007 regarding this. So now they are saying that the bill regarding what? CRPC, that remains the provision requiring maintenance of a parent through special act. So under CRPC you have maintenance of parent, and this is through special. Now the definitions and drafting. The bill replacing the IPC provides a person regarding what? Suffering from mental illness as a general exception from being an offender. Now this was called as unsound mind earlier. So the definition of mental illness is the same in Mental Health Care Act. So in IPC, the mental, and in case of Mental Health Care Act. Both of them have similar definition for mental illness. Now, the Act aims to provide medical treatment to persons suffering from mental illness and therefore excludes mental retardation or incomplete development. It also includes what abuse of alcohol or drugs. Consequently, the new bill will provide full exemptions to someone who is addicted to alcohol or drugs, but not to person who is unable to understand the consequence of their action due to mental retardation. So if you see, what they are saying is that the new bill is providing full exemption to someone who is addicted to alcohol. That means someone who is addicted to alcohol or drugs, they are exempted, but not to a person who is unable to understand the consequence of their action due to mental retardation. That means in the scenario of mental retardation, what is going to happen if the person is going to perform any kind of perform, you can, if they are going to go for any malpractices, what is going to happen in that scenario? They are, or they will be termed as convict for the offense. Now, the three laws had a number of illustrations from daily life to clarify the problem. Some of these illustrations have become obsolete but have been still been retained. These includes people riding chariots, firing cannons, and being carried on planks. Now, it may be useful to update these illustrations to events from modern life. Now, these bills will become the basis of criminal justice system. Parliament should examine them with great care so that they create a fair, just, and efficient criminal justice system. So, the author is saying that all the three bills that are there, they hold a very high relevance. Why? Because they are the one who are going to frame the criminal justice system of the country. So, the author is saying that utmost care should be taken because since they are framing the criminal justice system, that means they should be fair, just, and efficient. Because if it is not going to be fair, it is not going to be just, that means a certain community will become powerful again. The whole purpose of bringing the justice system, criminal justice system, will not be, will not be covered. And if the efficiency is not there, that means delay is happening in bringing justice to the people. Then again, what is the need of bringing this criminal justice system, or bringing these three bills, which ultimately is burdening the parliament also and the country also, when you are not able to bring what a fair, just, and efficient system. Fine. Okay, let's move on to the next article. Now, stubble trouble. So again, this has been a very hot topic for past so many days, and I've done this for months also. Again, it's the first week of November and Delhi is blanketed in smog. But buses full of children in school uniform head towards Ludhiana's sprawling park in the heart of the city, and groups of the people amble towards the war memorial. It is rare to see faces covered with N95 masks despite the air quality index hitting the severe plus 500 mark, and the government banning construction and the flying of certain types of vehicles as emergency measures to control air pollution. But on the fifth floor of a building at the AIMS, the largest government hospital in Delhi, 39-year-old person has said what a white tube from an oxygen cylinder attached to a side of the wheelchair splits into two. They go into the nostrils. Now her condition got worse over the last week due to the pollution. So you can, you just can imagine if the person is suffering so badly, and it is because of the air pollution that is present in the regions of the capital. Now, this month is very bad, as the doctor replies. Every year you will have to take this injection in November and December. Now, why this kind of pollution has occurred every time it has been there? What is so knew about it, or how we can meet the challenges regarding it. So let's discuss about it. Now, not sending problems. So India ranks eighth in the list of the countries with the worst air quality index. That means, uh, I would say, the pollution status. What is the pollution status? India is ranking eighth in the list of countries with worst AQI. Now, poor air is therefore not just a Delhi problem. Every year, especially during winter, air pollution spikes in the entire Indo-Gangetic plain. This region, covering large parts of Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, and eastern Uttar Pradesh, constitutes an air shed, which means that roughly the same atmospheric condition prevails everywhere. Now, pollution spikes when pollutants from different sources are not dispersed easily in the winter because of drop in wind speed and temperature. That means, what is happening is, if wind speed is not there, and you can say there is less of temperature. So if wind speed is less and temperature is also less, what is happening is that pollutants don't get dispersed. So no dispersion of pollutants. Now, vehicles and diesel generator exhaust, heavy industries emissions, soil and road dust, open waste burning, and biomass burning are all present in the atmosphere throughout the year. Now, in winter, they get accumulated. This is what I said, when the temperature is less, amplifying the effects of the pollutants compared to the summer. That means, because of these conditions, the pollutants get accumulated, and when they get accumulated, what is going to happen? It will create a severe condition for health. So severe health crisis. Now, the pollution from stubble burning. Now comes a major thing. A practice of removing paddy crop residue from field to sow wheat, which happens in October November, makes the situation worse. This November too, air pollution spiked in the Indo-Gangetic Plain, and a toxic smog covered the national capital for about a week. Delhi remained the most polluted major city in the world for many days in November. Now, according to India's Quality Air's Life data coming from 100 cities, what is the data talking about, or what is the data referring as? So, the data coming from this IQ Air's Life is saying, calling it a murder of the health of the people, the Supreme Court cracked the whip on the government. So Supreme Court has given what, a whip on the government, and what is that whip about? So among other directions, it ordered which Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, and Rajasthan to stop stubble burning forthwith. Now, last week, while the this party blamed the other ruling party, etc., for the problems of paddy stubble burning. Now, fewer stubble burning incidents. The good news is that the number of stubble burning incidents in the regions are falling, according to the Consortium for Research and Agro Ecosystem Monitoring and Modeling from the Space Lab. Now, in 2022, the number of farm fires fell in the regions of Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh compared to the previous year. Now, this year too, there is a fall. Now, according to the data that is coming from Punjab Pollution Control Board, collected through satellite imagery, that means all the data that is coming from the source. The source is what? Your satellite imagery. So, based on the satellite imagery, the data is collected. Now, the state recorded this much stubble burning incidents from September 15 to November 8. Other than that, what they saw was that last year, this such incidents were recorded during the same period in the state. These figures show that while farm fires have reduced, they are still high in absolute number. Now, October 22 this year, stubble burning accounted for about 16% of PM 2.5 particulate matter in Delhi. It increased to nearly 35% on November 3, the highest this season, when the air quality index broke into the most toxic category, according to a tracker that was maintained by the Earth Sciences Ministry. So, again, the data that they are referring for the worst air quality is your Earth Science Ministry. Meteorological factors play a significant role in determining the degree of particulate matter coming in from the stubble burning outside Delhi NCR. It was surprising that multiple weather factors combined in the week, says the professor, Mr. Tripathi, and he's coming from IIT Kanpur. So the boundary layer dropped by 50%. The wind direction changed from northeast to northwest. That means the wind direction changed from, now this was the wind direction that was coming from your northeast and has changed towards the northwest. And the columnar winds are low as they can get. So it's well known that these values will correspond to the worst pollution level. The boundary layers refers to the height at which pollutants hover. Now we burn stubble out of compulsion. So as stubble burning is a significant factor, though not solely responsible for the spike in pollution, it also dominates conversation in Punjab. Now what else? It is that time of the year when farmers in Punjab and Haryana race against time to harvest the paddy, that is the summer crop, and prepare to sow the wheat. So the time is of what? That means harvestation of paddy happening. That means it was sown somewhere in summers, and now is the time of harvestation. So there is paddy residue that is coming, and that is what is referred for the stubble burning, or cause behind the stubble burning. And now they have to clear the field for what? Because they have to sow the winter crop. And what is that winter crop? That is your wheat. Now, paddy which is harvested, which combined harvester's machine leaves behind a stubble on the field, many farmers find burning the crop residue to be the most effective and cheap method when they want to prepare their farm to sow wheat. As they have only 3 weeks between the harvest of the paddy and the sowing of wheat, farmers resort to stubble burning. Farmers across Punjab annually face the challenge of managing nearly 20 million tons of paddy straw. Now, again, most farmers don't want to set the stubble on fire. They do it out of compulsion. We are the first victims of the pollution from the crop burning. This is one of the farmers who say. So, why would we want that? The problem is that successive governments have failed to provide us with the viable options to manage the crop residue. So, a farmer is coming with a say, and what is that? That it is because they are forced, and they are forced. Why? Because there is no viable option, and these viable options should come from the government, and government is not able to provide them a viable option to deal with the paddy residue. So there is no option left to them, and that's why they resort to the practice of stubble burning. Now he adds that if farmers were given machines or financial incentives by the government in a time-bound manner, they wouldn't burn the residue. Now, for the last few years, the government has been providing crop residue management machines, but even on subsidy. So, again, we have this crop residue management machine. Just a minute. So, crop residue, yeah, crop residue management machine. So, crop residue management machine that is your CRM. So what is happening is that even though government has been providing this CRM machine, but the issue is that this is also being provided in subsidy. So they are expensive, especially for small and marginal farmers. They are also not available on time. This year, the government has been promoting the use of uh, ballers. So machines designed to compress crop residue into compact bales. So the problem remains the same. They are not available when we need them. This is what the farmers are saying, that whenever it's needed, the machines are not available. Now, in a village, a group of farmers meet close to another. They debate the controversial incidents of some farmers in a village. Now, forcing the government official to burn paddy straw in field. The farmers say the problem is deeper. Mechanization is only a partial solution. The government need to promote crop diversification, which is only possible through MSP. So the farmers are coming with an opinion, and what is that? That mechanization is not a solution. So, or you can say it is only a partial solution. So, the point is what need to be done. So, instead of mechanization, the you can definitely have mechanization, but apart from mechanization, you should have, or the government should focus on crop diversification. Now, crop diversification, which is only possible through a minimum support price and assured purchase of the produce for other crops on the lines of paddy and wheat. That means there should be crop diversification, there should be MSP, which should assure purchase of produce of other crops on the lines of paddy and wheat. That means there should be MSP for the crops other than wheat and paddy. And this MSP should be in line with them. That means it shouldn't be something like the wheat and the paddy growers are getting different MSPs, and whereas the other who are cultivating the different crops, they are getting different MSPs. So in that case, again, the people will shift towards wheat and paddy because they will go for the crop which will provide them higher MSP. So MSP should be in line with wheat and paddy. Okay. Then comes your super seeder machine for removing the paddy stubble. These machines allow standing paddy stubble in soil and sow wheat seeds simultaneously in a single operation. Now, other than this, what else? Super seeder machines. Now, there has been encouraging response for billers from farmer this year. This is what the director of Punjab Agriculture Department has said. The demand has gone up significantly this season. Most of these balers are imported. The companies in the business had procured balers, keeping in view the routine demand. But given this sudden rise, we have had a problem of shortage. Now, with no quick solution in sight, farmers have reluctantly been burning paddy, which has caused air pollution for what? To spike in the last fortnight. Now, the air quality index has slipped from moderate to poor category. That means the AQI has shifted from moderate to poor quality. Now, asserting that the number of hospital patients with respiratory disease has gone up in the last few days. So, stubble burning triggers respiratory diseases. We are seeing more and more patients with cough, running nose, itchy eyes, besides skin diseases. Now, what is the government initiative? So, for the management of crop residue, the Punjab government has been providing subsidies on the purchase of the CRM machines. And what was that I told you, that these machines are provided in subsidy, and again this makes very this is very expensive for the farmers to purchase, especially for the small and marginal farmers. Now, including the surface seeders, and an in situ paddy stubble management device. The state government has mandated that brick kilns use stubble as fuel, and that other plants buy stubble from farmers. So, three solutions that have been coming. Now, what are those three solutions that are coming? The first solution that is coming is, firstly, go for the purchase of CRM machines to check the stubble. Second, they are saying the government initiative that is using the super seeder machines. And third, they are saying what? Use of stubble as fuel. And use of stubble as fuel by whom? The bricklayer, and also other plants who can buy stubble from farmers. So, other plants which require fuel and where stubble could be purchased from farmers. Fine. Now, last year I bought a rake and a baler on government subsidy for stubble management. I cleared stubble in 600 acres and earned around rupees 20 lakh by selling bales. This year I spec the area up to 2,000 acres. I don't change anything from the farmers. I've entered into an agreement with a compressed biogas plant situated in Sangrur. So what can happen is, in other plants you can mention that who all can buy stubble as a fuel. So one such other plant is your biogas plant. Fine. Now, while supplying agro machines on subsidy may reduce the problem of stubble burning to some extent, it is not a complete solution. These agro machines are used for a limited period of time. They are of no use. Just a second. Fine. So they are of no use for the whole year. Also, they have no utility unless they are provided within the required time. So to curb the means of stubble burning, PPCB, that is your Punjab board, has been promoting paddy straw as a resource to create wealth. Now, the PPCB has been encouraging the use of paddy straw in power plants. This is what I told you, in industrial boilers, biogas plant, and your industrial boilers. Demonstrative industrial boilers were installed, and entrepreneurs are trying to replicate them in their units. Now, Punjab has tackled excuse technological challenges over the last 2 years. There have been metallurgical improvements in the industrial boilers, vessels, and supply chain. Paddy straw has been strengthened. The efforts have resulted in 125% increase in paddy straw usage from previous years. Meanwhile, in Delhi, those schools have shut. Students continue to go out and play, and people party and even burst crackers. So, all in all, what the author is trying to say is that even the schools are closed, but somehow or other people are in roads. So when people are in roads in Delhi, so they are getting affected. And when they are on roads, what is going to happen? The respiratory system is on risk. So we need to keep a check on this. Fine. Okay. Now let's move on to the next analysis. Okay. Okay, so 168 villages along China border to get road connectivity in a year. Uh, this is what the Union Home Minister has said. So, what is the thing that they have been talking about, or what is the need on bringing these uh, program? So here he says what that the country's security would suffer if border villages are emptied out due to migration and the vibrant village program. So the home minister is talking about what? The violent village program. Now, what is the Vibrant Village program all about? So, first, let us see the news and then we'll discuss about it. Would ensure that all the facilities and infrastructure reach there. He said that the country could not be safe without development of the border areas. Now, he said that the 7 battalions of Indo-Tibetan Border Police were sanctioned by the government, and out of them, 4 battalions would be deployed shortly. Now, Center wanted the border village to be treated as first villages, not just geographically, but also in terms of facilities. So, he said that before 2014, the average spent on border infrastructure was 4,000 crore per year. And in the past 9.5 years, it has trembled to 12,000 crores. Now, what has the Home Minister said that Indo-China border, he was assured that not even an inch of land would be occupied as the ITBP are posted there. So, what other has said by the Home Minister? So, the self-sustainable energy building was very special because built at an altitude of 17,000 feet in the cold desert, this building would become a symbol of self-reliant India. So he said this building was a gift of Diwali to the Himveers. He said it would keep the soldiers safe at temperature of 18 to 90 degrees Celsius. Now let's talk about the Vibrant Village program. So what is this Vibrant Village program? So this Vibrant Village program is actually a program that was announced in Union Budget, and this Union Budget was there in 2022 to 23. And under this, what has the government said? So they have talked about development of village on northern border, and when development of village is happening, so what are this village or what are these village going to provide? So these village are going to be equipped with quality of life. And what else? Now, when quality of life is ensured, so what are the areas that will be covered in this village vibrant village program? So, in the union budget, they have said that it will be covering the border areas of Himachal Pradesh. It will be covering the border areas of Uttarakhand. It will be covering the border areas of Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, and Ladakh. So close to 2,900 approximately. This much village will be covered in the first phase of the Vibrant Village program. Now the point is that if you have talked about this vibrant village program, then who are the one who are going to plan all the infrastructure, etc. So the one who will be planning it will be your district administration with the help of the gram panchayat. So just a second. So the this village program will be, or the plans will be created by the district administration, and this shall be happening with the help of gram panchayats. And other than that, what will be happening now, if you are doing internal security, or if you have or even read about internal security, so you will be knowing about the border area development program. So the border area development program is a different aspect altogether. So border area development program will be running. There will be absolutely no hindrance to this program. But this vibrant village program is a different project that the government has brought in the union budget. Okay, so thank you so much. I have covered nearly all aspects of today's newspaper. Thank you.